Hey everybody, this is Nem. I'm just making a quick video today. I've got some more Savage type content coming up. Blackmage guides, fight guides. There's some really great, quicker resources out there, and some expert guide makers are going to have their stuff out soon. So definitely use what works for you. If you're newer to Raider, I'll try to do like very in-depth explanations for you if that works. In the meantime, today we're just doing a brief covering in the meantime for black mages in particular on how to gear, whether you need a budget set or whether you have a lot of gil and you're going hard this tier, a little explanation about the tier in general and the mindset, and also the new rotation changes with black mage now that we have ice paradox back, just stuff like that. So first, just let's cover the rotation real quick. We're still doing, the basic opener, right? We're gonna do Fire 3 into Thunder 3. We're gonna Swift cast, Amplifier, Fire 4, Ley Lines, triple cast, and go from there. Use our potion after that Fire 4. We're gonna slow cast this Despair, and then we're gonna Xenoglossy. We're gonna Mana Font, and depending on mechanics, you might triple here, you might not. But if you don't, which is what I prefer, you do 2 Fire 4s and the Flare Star, 2 more Fire 4s after that, and then we'll do Fire Paradox, Thunder, as those are expiring. We can fit in 2 more Fire 4s and a Despair. I'm experimenting with something that ends a little bit early here, and there might be some other alternatives, but this is where we get into Ice Phase. So you can Blizzard 3, you can Swift cast Blizzard 4, Ice Paradox, transpose into Fire 3 at this point. And that is basically it. That's your basic rotation. Just remember that they changed our dot so that it's not as front loaded now, which means you really need to get uptime on your dot to maximize its damage, or else your dot does less damage than it did before 7.05. So just keep that in mind. And that's the new rotation for Blackmage. For food and pots, if you're doing the raid, if you have a lot of money, you can do pineapple orange jelly as your bis crit food, and you can do grade 2 gem drots of intelligence for the best pots. If you're working with a little bit less money, you can use vegetable soup high quality for food, and you can use grade 1 gem draught of intelligence or even grade 8 tincture of intelligence. That's still enough to get through these fights. You're just not going to parse as well, you know what I mean? You might not skip as many mechanics. So let's cover gearing. So when it comes to Savage tiers, there's 2 ways to do it. You either budget set it, save a bunch of gil, or you go really hard and you buy a crafted set, which is normally like catch-up gear, but you can buy the crafted set for the first week or 2, pentameld the heck out of it, and then have like an actual temporary abyss until you get your raid pieces. And we can even go over what the abyss is going to be, if you'd like, for Blackmage, this tier. So this tier, it is important to keep in mind that it's the easiest raid tier we've had in a long time. So if you don't want to go full bis with like the pentamelding and everything, you really don't have to. It's just more for people who like to parse for the first few weeks, you know what I mean? But we'll go over it. So for the crafted set, you're going to use this weapon, the Archeo Kingdom Scepter, right? 3 direct hit 12s, and then 2 spell speed, 11 materia. From there, we have the helmet. It's a 1 12 direct hit, followed by 2 12 determinations and 2 11 determination materia. Look at the chest piece here. It's all crit, 3 12s and 2 11s. The gloves are also 3 12s and 2 11s for crit materia. The pants are 3 direct hit 12s and 2 direct hit 11s. The boots are a crit 12, 2 direct hit 12s, and then 2 determination 11s. For your earrings, it's 2 direct hits 12, 3 direct hit 11s, 2 det 12s on here, 2 crit 11s, and a determination 11. For your wrists, you're going to do 2 crit 12s, 3 crit 11s, and the same here for these 2 rings, 2 crit 12s and 3 crit 11s. So if you're pentamelding, that's what it should look like. Look at my crit, it's 2800, that's cool. But if you have a budget set, we can swap this all out for what I used. Most of it is tombstone gear, and it is good enough to get you your clears. There's some normal raid pieces here, but those can also be tombstone. And by tombstone, I mean your uncapped weekly, or your uncapped tombstones, the ones you can get an infinite amount of. Let's just swap out these last few pieces. 710 gear. Where are you? Here. We need our ring. We need our other ring. Resilient ring. Okay, so if you're doing a budget set where you don't want a pentameld, you don't want the Extreme Trial 1 weapon, Sky Ruin Staff. It is 710. Throw some crit materia in it. Tombstone helmet. Throw some direct hits. All 12 materias because you cannot pentameld. The chest piece is 212 crits. It's okay that it overcaps by 4. I have the normal raid gloves with crit direct hit, but you can also use the tombstone gloves. Normal raid pants with crit. You can also use the tombstone pants. Normal raid boots with 2 crit. You can also use the tombstone boots for your budget set. As well, for the jewelry, you can use the normal raid jewelry plus the tombstone ring if you want to do this kind of quickly, but it's not as good. You'll be item level 705 instead of 707 if you go that route. But your resilient earring of casting from the extreme trial, you can throw crit. For the choker, crit. For the bracelet, direct hit. For the tombstone ring, crit. It's okay that these overcap a little. And for the extreme trial 2 ring, crit. So that's going to be your budget prog set. And it can be a little bit more budget than that and you'll still be okay. Just look at the stats here. We do have highest determination. So this set is going to play a little bit nicer probably with cheaper food. But still crit's not bad. So if you want to invest in the food, that's still probably worth it. Okay, so those are the 2 sets. That's the rotation. That's the mindset. Let's go over the BIS set for Blackmage this tier. So let's go to Solution 9 real quick so that you know what pieces to target in your raids and you don't just roll on everything. Let's just take a quick second here to teleport to Solution 9. I could edit this out, but I just love spending time with you guys. You know, like we're bonding. I mean, you get to watch me click on this aetheryte, you watch me teleport around. You know, it's like we understand each other, you know? Okay, we're here. I'm sorry. So for the BIS set, we're going to be focusing on slower spell speed and crit. For you newer black mages, that's going to make you nervous. It made me nervous years ago. I wanted spell speed because of latency. I wanted spell speed because I felt like my casts were always getting interrupted and everyone in my parties hated me. That's a normal experience. You should get over that hump though, because you're going to fall in love with it once you get used to it, I promise. That's what happened to me, and it happens to a lot of other people. And if you ever do care about parsing, it's going to help you out there as well. So, for BIS gear, you're going to want the weapon from the raids. The Dark Horse Champion's Rod, it's easy. Why is it easy? Look, check this out. Critical hit, spell speed. That's great, okay? For the helmet, this has spell speed and direct hit, so we're not going to get the raid helmet. For the chest piece, we're going to get the chest piece because it's critical hit, direct hit rate. We want that. For the gloves, it's critical hit, spell speed, so we want that. For pants, it's spell speed, direct hit. We don't want that. For boots, it's critical hit, determination, so we want that. For earrings, we want these. Why? Look, crit, determination. Perfect. That's damage. Spell speed, determination on the ring or the necklace. We don't want the necklace. For raid drops, we do want the bangle because it's crit, direct hit. And for the ring, crit, direct hit, we want that. Right, so those are your raid drops. So what do you do without your raid drops? You come over here to Tombstone Exchange, and for our weekly capped tomes, we can now see what we want to prioritize. We want the helmet, crit determination. We don't want this, we don't want this. We want the pants, crit direct hit rate. We don't want this. And then we go to accessories, and we need just the pieces that didn't have crit before, so the necklace, and then also we need a second ring, which also has crit, so we want the second ring. That works out perfectly. So now you're going to need a couple more things to upgrade these pieces over here. I think it's at this guy for the augmentation. So you now need to upgrade your tombstone gear with raid drops, and eventually, right, there'll be alliance raid drops. So the ring needs to get upgraded, so you're going to need a sun surge-like glaze. I think that's from the second or third fight. I think it's the second fight. And then you need, let's see here, the necklace one is going to need a glaze as well, so you need 2 glazes. And then you're going to need to upgrade your helmet, so you're going to need a twine. And then you need to upgrade your pants, so you're going to need a twine. So 2 twine, 2 glazes, and you're good to go. Now, there's one last question a lot of you might ask, and that is, what about this augmented quad sally rod, it has crit spell speed, but it's lower item level than the raid one, right? So what this is more of a second best. So you will get your normal weapon from this tombstone guy if you meet the following conditions. 1, you set aside a bunch of tombstones for it, 500. 2, you get this universal tombstone. This is a raid drop, or you can clear the normal raid 7 weeks. It usually takes 12 weeks to fully gear in a raid, so getting a weapon at 7 weeks means you just haven't gotten yours yet. That's totally fine. So you can get this, and then there is another drop in the raid for this solvent. If you get the solvent, you can then upgrade to 730, and that will tide you over until you get the 735 weapon from this guy, which is from the final fight, right? So that is your BIS. That's how you should gear up. It's pretty much the same every single raid tier. You know, some of the pieces change, like maybe one tier you'll get helmet instead of chest piece from the raid, and you get tombstone chest piece. That changes. But this is how you figure it out. You just look at it. Which ones have crit? Get those pieces. You know, it's super easy. You can go spell speed if you prefer, and that's totally okay. But I strongly recommend biting the bullet and going for crit, because crit feels really good once you're used to it. Once you're used to crit, it feels really, really good. It's just getting used to it. You know, being slower on your casts, really, really eating those slide casts, you know, taking the maximum amount of time, learning those lessons. It's something we all have to do. So anyways, this is a long enough video. Thanks for watching. I'm going to end it now. I'll see you next time. Again, more Savage videos on the way. Thanks for being patient. Like, subscribe. I'll see you. This is an M.